Hello Internet, this is Gix with a Starcraft 2 commentary, and I'm playing against a Protoss called Prodigy. And we're playing a Starcraft version 1.0.1. Now I'm starting with my basic, Zerg start here build. I'm setting my overload. It's a basic 1 versus 1 map, and it's been available in the beta, so I pretty much know the map by heart now. So I'm setting my overload over there just to see what he's up to, and because I already know where he is. And basic play here with the Zerg. I mean, there's not much to do right now. It's just pumping up some drones. But I'm gonna do something fairly unorthodox. I know a few players do it. I wasn't aware that people did it before I started doing it, but yeah, I'm starting to see it fairly often now. Is I'm gonna start with a very early Zergling rush. As you can see right there, I canceled my extractor. And that's to get the extra food supply space, I guess, to get the 11th drone out. So as you can see up the top right corner, I'm food cap and or supply cap, and I'm building my early spawning pool there. And there I go again, exploiting the Zerg fact where I could, when you build or mutate into a structure, your drone doesn't count in the food supply. So I can make a new drone, so I get more drones out of that. I think it balances out in the fact that Terrans and Protoss get more food supply early on. So I think a hatchery is 1 food, and an overlord is 9. I think something like that. I don't know the exact values, but I think that's what it was in StarCraft 1. So I got my second overlord, and now that my spawning pool is ready, I got it timed out where my larva, I got 3 larvae as the spawning pool gets ready, and now I can create 6 Zerglings. I was going to say 3, but it's 6 Zerglings and a queen. And I pop up the spine crawler there because I'm not too sure exactly what my Protoss enemy or opponent is doing right now. My overlord's not there just yet to scout what he's up to, so I build a spine crawler just in case he does a 4 gate rush. That's one of the few builds that I have a problem against. And there goes my queen with a creep tumor. A lot of folks do the extra larva at the beginning. I always like to do the creep tumor first and then do the rest with the... There goes my Zerglings. Not too much of a harass there. I mean, he was, he's got 2 gateways there, so I guess my Zerglings knew it before my Overlord did. But I'm just going to send my Overlord to the corner right there, just make sure that they don't see it. And because I'm going to keep that Overlord over there just in case for Nidus canals. So I'm fairly early on. I know exactly, like I have one way of getting in just in case he turtles and defends his 2 exits or 2 entrances. He's got one that's already revealed, and the other one is blocked by some rocks that I can destroy. So yeah, see, and now I have my queen with some eggs, some extra larvae on the hatchery, and I think I'm building a roach horn, and I'm getting my gas from my roaches and stuff like that. So at this point, it's pretty much a fairly basic, approach, a Zerg approach. I just wing it at that point. Once I got my beginning, I just, with the 6th Zergling rush, I get to see the capacity of my opponent, and I can gouge whenever or not I should go. See, I canceled my hatchery there. I was going to go for the natural expand, but he goes with some fairly early zealot. I wasn't sure that, I wasn't prepared for a retaliation, but there he goes. And my queen defends, but then I micro her up so that I can do some more larvas and running around just to prevent her from being killed. And I micro also my spine crawler so he can target the low health zealot. And so yeah, I mean, at first the spine crawler was hitting the one with the shield, the fully health one, so the healthy one, yeah. So I had to micro it up. And now I have some pretty decent amount of zombies, Zerglings, and you know, they were for the. I think he attacked me with like some 5 zealots, so I built that many zerglings to go against that, just in case he was going to pump some more zealots in my way. And so I try again my natural expansion, and I didn't lose too much because I canceled it before the zealot were able to get to me. So now I have some extra zerglings, so I'm just going to see what kind of trouble I can cause, and there I go. See, he still has some 2 zealots, so I surround and I pop him. So wasn't too much of a trouble there, and now I can go probe hunting. So there I am, and he goes defend with his probes, and my zergling did some fairly and it's a good thing that I started at the retaliation early, because as you saw, he had a cannon ready. Well, it was delayed, so, and by delayed I mean if he had it fairly earlier, then my zerglings wouldn't have made it, or not as many zerglings would have made it. So now I have a you know, a roach run with some roaches. I think I have like 6 or 7 of them, and so, you know, he has some zealots. So I know you know, a good counter for zealots is the roach. But then again, that's basically my fallback unit. You know, if there's a lot of something on the map, I will normally go with roaches, depending on, you know, if I'm not too sure what to counter it with. Sometimes with zerglings and so forth. So he's got some stalkers there, and a good counter for stalkers is some roaches are okay, but really the zerglings are better. And the problem with the roaches is that, you know, they can take the hits, but they can't shoot. The stalkers have a way bigger range. And so I try to micro and pull them, but it doesn't really work. My opponent's pretty good at microing, and so I'm just going to focus fire on my enemy's pylon there, and I back away, because every time I go in a frontal attack, you know, he's backing off with his stalkers, because, you know, he's fairly good at it. He wants to keep them alive. And so there I am microing up my queens, getting some eggs, getting more roaches, and I wasn't expecting my 2 roaches to survive, so, you know, I pulled them back just a bit, see how much damage I can do, and I'm getting ready. So I got some more zerglings out, because, you know, they're good counters for the stalkers. So I'm thinking, well, you know, I can destroy them fairly easily and get the roaches as a backbone. And they're very good backbones. If you're a Zerg player, do not hesitate to make some roaches. Of course, you know, they're not the best unit. They do have some weaknesses in the fact that they can't shoot air, they have short range and stuff like that. And they're fairly slow for a unit. You know, they're the equivalent of a Marauder if you play Terran. You know, they're bulky, but they're so good. Normally I tech up with, you know, burrow and, you know, move while burrow type of technology with my roaches, but now I decided to go with a Nidus Canal, or Nidusworm, as they're called in Starcraft 2. And if you remember my Overlord at the enemy's base, yeah, that guy, he's going to be the one responsible with the vision, and I'll be able to call out, you know, spawn a head of that worm. I think the worms can have up to 5 heads, something like that. I'm not exactly sure on the number. I never managed to get that many heads out in the game, because they normally get destroyed. So there I go, pump up the all the units inside, and I hotkey, or not hotkey, but I rally point all my new military units into the worms, so I can just, you know, get easy access without going all the way to my my base to call them out here for reinforcement. So that's a nice little trick there. It depends how the map is laid out, like how many heads you have, but it's good for transportation. So there I am, I'm ready. I'm pumping my but he was ready because he heard the Nidus worms. When they come out, they make a huge loud noise. It's a dead giveaway that there's something in your base. But, you know, with my zerglings and my roaches, I make a quick work of their, well, they're workers, they're probes, and there he goes again, you know, backing off with his stalkers.